Most guys panic. You're staring at your phone. It's 11:47 p.m. The room is quiet in that specific way it only gets after a fight that didn't really end. It just stopped. You can still feel the heat in your chest. You can still hear the last thing she said. And then her message comes in, simple and devastating. I need space. Not good night. Not we'll talk tomorrow. Just space. So you sit there, thumb hovering, heart racing, replaying the last week like security footage. You open your chat thread. You type. You delete. You type again. And your inner voice starts getting loud. Is she done with me? Did I just lose her? Why does this keep happening? Do I text her or give her space? Am I being replaced? Am I the problem? Here's the truth that flips everything. When a woman says she needs space, it's rarely because she wants less love. It's because her nervous system doesn't feel safe inside the connection right now, and distance is the only way she knows to breathe. You're not failing at love. You're not too much. And this isn't a sign you chose the wrong person. Most couples who genuinely care about each other hit this exact moment and don't know what to do with it. By the end of this video, you'll know what space is actually communicating beneath the surface, exactly what to stop doing immediately and what to do instead so you don't push her further away while trying to pull her closer. Let's get into it. Most couples believe space means the relationship is dying. But the real truth is space usually means the relationship is overloaded. Most people in relationships treat closeness like a volume knob. If she pulls back, you turn it up. More texts, more reassurance, more talking, more fixing. But human connection doesn't work like that. Your partner's nervous system is reading you before their mind can catch up. And when she's overwhelmed, your pursuit can feel like pressure, even if your intention is love. This is the anxious avoidance cycle in real life. One person reaches for connection when they feel fear. The other reaches for distance when they feel fear. And both of you are trying to feel safe. You're just using opposite strategies. Here's the part no one explains. When safety leaves a relationship, the love doesn't disappear. It goes underground. It's still there, but it stops being accessible in real time. So, if you respond to her, I need space, with panic, intensity, or protest, her system hears, I'm not allowed to have boundaries here. And somewhere in her, a quiet thought forms. If I can't breathe with him, I have to get away from him. This isn't a communication hack. This is an identity shift. It's what emotionally mature men do when connection feels shaky. They stop chasing safety, and they start becoming it. Now let's talk about the 5 mistakes most guys make in this exact moment, and how to do it differently. Mistake 1. The flood of contact. Most couples respond to, I need space, by sending more. More texts, more calls, more paragraphs, more voice notes at 2 a.m. Because most people in relationships confuse proximity with connection, and when they feel the drift, they try to close it with sheer force. But beneath the surface, what she feels isn't, he loves me. What she feels is pressure. Her nervous system experiences your rapid-fire contact like someone knocking on a locked bathroom door while she's trying to breathe. And here's what changes everything. Your job isn't to convince her to stay close. Your job is to show her you can handle distance without collapsing, because that's what creates safety. Let me make it painfully real. Disconnecting version sounds like, "Can we please just talk right now? I don't understand. Tell me what I did. I'm freaking out. Are you leaving me?" Connecting version sounds like, "Okay, I hear you. I'm going to give you room. If you want to talk tomorrow evening, I'm here." One is a chase. The other is presence. And when you choose presence, her brain quietly registers, "He didn't make my boundary a crisis." That's when the walls between you start to come down, without either of you having to say a word. Mistake 2. Turning space into a trial. And this is where it gets really interesting. Most couples don't just panic, they punish. Not openly, not dramatically, but subtly. Most people in relationships hear, "I need space," and respond with guilt, sarcasm, or a quiet threat. You act cold, you drop a line like, "Fine, do whatever you want." Or you pretend you're unbothered while you're actually bleeding inside. But the deeper truth is this. When you turn her need for space into a trial she has to pass to prove she loves you, you teach her that honesty costs too much in this relationship. And once honesty becomes expensive, distance becomes the only affordable option. Not more talking. Not better debating. Not you winning the conversation. But two people who feel safe enough to have boundaries without punishment. Here's what it looks like in real life. Disconnecting. Wow, so you just get to disappear and I'm supposed to be okay with it? Connecting. I won't pretend this is easy for me, but I respect what you need. Let's check in on Friday and see where we're both at. Notice what you're doing there. You're not begging. You're not punishing. You're leading with calm structure. And when you do that, she feels you as a steady place again, not a storm she has to survive to love you. Mistake 3. Apologizing like you're paying a fine. Here's the part no one talks about. Most guys try to fix space with apologies, endless ones. Most people in relationships apologize the way you pay a parking ticket. Quick, repetitive, slightly desperate. "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Please don't go." But beneath the surface, over-apologizing can feel like emotional pressure too, because it's not always repair. Sometimes it's a plea for reassurance. And when she's already overwhelmed, she can't hold your need and her own at the same time. Your nervous system in conflict is like a smoke detector. It cannot tell the difference between discomfort and danger, so it sounds the alarm regardless. And when you're in that alarm, your apology isn't about her pain, it's about your panic. Try this instead. Make your apology specific. Make it contained. Make it real. Disconnecting. "I'm sorry for everything. I'll do anything, just don't leave." Connecting. "I've been coming at you intense lately. I can see how that would feel heavy. I'm going to work on how I show up when I'm scared." That one lands differently, because it's not begging, it's accountability. And in her mind, something shifts. He's not just trying to stop the consequence, he's trying to change the pattern. That's the kind of repair that brings intimacy back from underground. Mistake 4. Confusing space with disappearing. And this is the one most couples never figure out. They finally hear, "Give her space," and they vanish. They go silent for days. They act like they don't care. They start posting like they're thriving. They become a stranger to protect their ego. Most people in relationships think space means absence. No contact, no warmth, no reassurance. like you're supposed to turn off your feelings and wait for her to come back impressed by your detachment. But the deeper truth is, space isn't the same as abandonment. Space is breathing room with a visible bridge back to connection. It's, I'm here, and I'm not chasing you, at the same time. Not ghosting her, not hovering over her, not performing indifference, but staying emotionally available without being emotionally invasive. Here's how it sounds. Disconnecting, total silence. Then, 3 days later, so, are we good now? Connecting. I'm going to give you the room you asked for. I'll check in on Thursday. No pressure to respond before then. That sentence does something powerful. It calms her nervous system because it removes uncertainty. And uncertainty is what makes space feel like a cliff. When you do this, she stops feeling like she has to choose between closeness and self-protection. She can breathe. And when she can breathe, she can feel. Mistake 5. Missing the real ask beneath space. But here's what nobody explains. Sometimes, I need space isn't about distance. It's about the emotional tone between you. Most couples treat space like a scheduling issue. How many days do you need? When can we talk? What are the rules? But the real truth is, she's usually trying to get away from a feeling, not from you. She's trying to get away from tension, from criticism, from walking on eggshells, from feeling like every conversation becomes a negotiation. And if you don't address that beneath-the-surface emotional reality, you can give her all the space in the world and still lose her, because the pattern will still be waiting when she comes back. Here's a question that changes everything. Not, do you still love me? But, what has been feeling heavy for you in us? And then you listen like a man, not like a lawyer. You don't interrupt. You don't defend. You don't build a case. Because most of the time, what she's silently longing for is this: presence without pressure. Closeness without control. A partner who can hold discomfort without making her pay for it. Here's what it can sound like. Disconnecting. So what? You just don't want to be with me? Connecting. I want to understand what you're needing more of in this relationship. More calm, more appreciation, more space during conflict. I can handle the truth. That last line is everything. Because her brain is quietly registering, maybe I can be honest here. And honesty is the beginning of real intimacy. Now let's bring it home. If a woman asks for space, your goal is not to pull her back with intensity. Your goal is to become the kind of man whose presence feels safe enough that she doesn't have to run from it. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being steady. It's about noticing the cycle before it drags you under again. And honestly, man, this is where relationships either drift or they deepen. Because when you respond instead of react, you don't just keep the relationship alive. You change what's possible inside it. This isn't a checklist. It's an invitation to show up differently, and that changes everything about what's possible between you and the person you chose. When you internalize this, you stop reacting and start responding, and she will feel the difference before you've even said a word. Here's your mic drop truth to remember. Space doesn't end love. Panic does.